Sweet. Cool.
Beautiful.
Hey.
How are you?
God damn. I'm great. Thank you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. It's great to get you on here, mate. I've been really looking
Awesome.
forward to chatting with you.
Yeah, likewise, man. I was quite honored when you asked me, actually, because I've been thinking about this podcast stuff for ages. And I thought, oh, I follow your stuff, of course. And then when he messaged me, I was like, fucking hell, he must be desperate.
Not at all. Like you've asked me a couple of questions about like podcast setup and
Yeah,
just like YouTube vlogging stuff. And I've been following your
yeah.
stuff on the socials anyway. And Christ, I mean, well,
Well, even the
folks,
drunk
if
garage
you
stuff.
everything, all of the stuff, because you've got about three different accounts running, haven't you? You do M&P Direct, you do late on the, you've got your own late on the breaks, and then is
Yeah,
it MxN as
yeah.
well? MxM?
Yeah, MxM. Yeah, I haven't really pushed that as much. I kind of set it up just to get the username.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do pretty much all works accounts. There's a load, and then my own. But it's so encompassing. Well, as you probably know, it's so encompassing your time
Yeah.
and the
Oh
effort
yeah.
and all that. It's something slips along the line. So it's priority work, my stuff second, and then like the official my stuff. Nah, never got time. So I should make time. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to.
Mate, your content, the quality of the pictures that you put out,
Hmm.
it just stands out straight away. I have a mate of mine called Barney. He's a professional photographer
Hmm.
now, and he was the same. Like when we all saw he used to take pictures of us at like track days and some mates when they were doing like novice, no limits, rookie cup type racing,
Oh,
and he'd
yeah,
take pictures of
yeah,
them, and they were like better than the stuff you were seeing at BSB and MotoGP and stuff. They were insane. And we
yeah.
all, oh, it's got this bloody
Nice.
gesture thing on it. Sorry about that, folks. There's a little thumb
It's
in a
okay.
bubble appeared.
I'll join
Sorry
in.
about that.
But hey, we're
Yeah,
both having tech difficulties, man.
I know. Yeah, well, I'm just technically inept. That's all. But we all said to Barney right at
Me
the
too.
start, we were like, mate, you need to do something with this because you've got a gift. Do something. And now he does.
Hmm.
Now he does. He takes pictures at
It's
MotoGP and World
awesome.
Supers and all that sort of stuff. And your
It's
your work is the same. It
fantastic.
really stands out. The quality of your pictures is pretty immense.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
wow.
you. Thank you.
How'd
I
you do it?
appreciate that.
Teach
Yeah.
me.
Uh, I okay. How did I do it? I didn't study photography. Like I didn't
Mike,
do it in college or uni or stuff. Well,
Mike, 2 seconds. I just realized I haven't
what?
even introduced you. I do apologize. We just got
Oh,
straight into this.
that's all
Folks,
right.
this is
Doesn't
Mike. It's
matter.
Mike Morgan. He's a druid. How
Hi.
are you,
How you
mate?
going?
Um,
Good. Thank you.
you got a brew
Warrior,
next to you there?
actually. Oh, I
Warrior,
have.
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I went.
Slange.
Oh, nice. I went for hobgoblin, and the reason being because usually I'm a Stella fiend, but I went to a green branded supermarket after work, and the only pint-sized cans they had was this. So I was like, oh, I fancy a change. So yeah, I
Right.
started a little
Well,
bit early though.
good lads. I like that. Crack on. So,
Cheers,
sorry.
Bruce.
Right. You were telling us a little bit about your backstory. Let's go there then. Who are you?
The
What you do?
backstory.
Where'd you come from? How'd you get into it?
Cool. Okay. My name is Mike Morgan. I'm in Swansea. I work with M&P Direct or for M&P Direct. I'm a very fortunate, lucky bastard. Um, been in the trade for 17 years, May. I won't bore you with the pre-motorcycle stuff because you don't really need to know.
That makes I want to know now.
Yeah. It's retail stuff, man. I left college and then went into work for a couple of well-known high street retail stores as warehouse person.
Gotcha.
And then in 2007, a colleague at the time said MFP were employing or taking on. And because I grew up in Gassinan, the small little town where MFP is based. So you always pass it, you always see loads of bikes everywhere. And the Swansea bike scene, even back in, 2007, they're everywhere. So you couldn't avoid them. And then I just randomly put a CV in, and stupidly they employed me. Start in the warehouse,
Hmm.
journal picking, packing orders, that kind of thing as the mail order side of the business. Worked way up then to like customer service stuff. So a lot of like eBay was kicking off and the website was really getting busy. So like customer service stuff, correspondence, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was around about the time then when Facebook was kicking off. And our ex-colleague of ours, Richard Kai, he started the Facebook page. And then time moved on a little bit after a couple of years. I started getting involved. I was mincing machine roles. Then I was helping a salesman out at the time, straw dog. So I started taking photos with my phone. And then pretty much it just started developing on its own. You know, a few years down the line, say 2-3 years ago, I'd say, I had support from Mark, owner of M&P, bought me camera, and I just went for it. So I haven't had any like professional training or like theory training, shall I say. It's just, I can't explain. I'll see things, I'll just snap it. And then thanks to like modern tech, like Lightroom and Photoshop and stuff, just started dabbling in small little tweaks and things like that. And yeah, it just, I wish I could be a little bit more like kind of flamboyant with it, but I can't, because it was just like a natural progression, if you know what I mean. It just kind of just took off, and then
you're one of these people that make me sick, aren't you? You're one of these people who are just naturally gifted in something, have no idea how they do it, but they just do it. Yeah, great, awesome, really happy for you.
Thank you, appreciate it. But yeah, I can't explain it. I can't explain it any other way. But the weird thing is, though, like, to go off in a bit of a tangent, it's like recently, as I've started getting a little bit more notice, or people have started seeing my stuff, imposter syndrome starts like snipping in. And you start going, oh, that's shit. You know, you go back and you edit it again, and you go to sleep, wake up and go, oh, shit again. It's like, all right, you go back, you leave it for like a couple of days, go back again, and you, in a way. And like, I'm kind of like my own worst enemy. It's like I can't see things as exactly how I want it. I'll do something and go, that's still not right, but I'll post it anyway. But that's probably me. But yeah, I
used to be like that with my editing. I was terrible for it. Like, it would just take just a ridiculous length of time, you know, 5 to 7 days to edit a vid, and literally you're doing like 15, 16 hours a day, and you're just going over the absolute minutia of things, which no one's ever going to notice. Nobody will ever notice it at all. But like you said, it's in your head, isn't it? And you know about it.
Yeah. Nobody but you will see it, and you're like,
I don't know what happened, but now, I mean, I certainly by no means just regurgitate and just splurge them out. But now it's just, you sort of just get to a point now where you're like, right, that will do. That's enough. And just boom, and you just put it out. But I never ever go back. Do you look at, I mean, I suppose you can't get away from it, can you? So, because it's images, it's stills, it's there. So you go back and you see it again.
Yeah. The one thing I've kind of done recently is there's a couple of sets I'll go, say I'm clearing out the hard drive or the folders, because God, you know, you've just got, unless you're OCD, you've just got folders and files and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
So
there's 90 terabytes there. And I've got about another there's about another 60 terabytes in the drawer down there that I've not even put on the shelf yet.
Yeah,
I don't know why I keep it.
Say it's small fry. Well, that's the thing. This is the funny point, isn't it? This is what we're talking about. I mean, it's one of those things that I will revisit something I've done from like the first time I got the DSLR. So you go, oh, okay, I'll look at that, and I'll retouch them up. And you go, oh, okay, that made a bit of a difference. Yeah, no problem. And then you kind of get a bit more ruthless with what you keep. So you kind of go, yeah, shit, get rid of it. Oh, shit, get rid of it. So I've always found myself just starting to build those boundaries in myself now, and just saying, right, you're happy with it? Yeah, go back in the morning, check it. You happy in the morning? Yeah, cool. It goes. You know, or you keep it, kind of thing, or it goes online. And anything, if you don't get like the 2 or 3 chances thing, you just got to get shot of it. But yeah, that 90 terabyte thing, I don't know how you do it. I saw your timeline the other day when you were filming one of the episodes or editing one of the episodes.
Yeah.
And I do very basic stuff with an Adobe product. I don't think, can I plug? I don't know. Whatever.
Of course you can. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I saw your timeline, and I was just like, how's he got so many blocks? Like, what the hell is he doing? And it blows my mind.
That's a really basic one. See, when you see like, if you see proper editors, when you have a look at their timelines, I mean, granted, most of it's usually sound design, because they have just layers of sound design built in, but it makes such a difference. But yeah, I mean, my stuff's really basic. Like, I don't even like to call myself an editor, because you're like, you're not. You play at it. Do you know what I mean? But
well, you are. It's tough shit. You got to call yourself it, because you
get away with it on YouTube for what we do. So yeah, absolutely. So,
But you do a really good job. Don't sell yourself short.
thank you very much. That's much appreciated. Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
like, what's the plan then? You know, you're going to get a podcast up and running.
I thought about it
Do
many
it.
times, and thank you. Funny story. I wasn't planning to, and then I had a random visit from Tom Swales, TeapotOne.
Yeah.
Just like messaged me saying, "Oh, I'm in the area, and I'm working. Go some beers, doing a chat." I was like, "Fuck guy, come on, then here's my address. Come up." And we spent a couple of hours talking in the garage, and I kind of just let it out, and I went, "Oh, thinking about it." Immediately, he was like, "Yeah, fucking do it. Just fucking do it." And then again, going back to the old imposter syndrome thing, it's always been in my head, but I'm one of those people that will think too much than do.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like trying to fight that little demon to say, yeah, just do it. But I'd like to. I need to get more in camera more, in front of camera more, which is why I'm so grateful doing this, because it's kind of forcing my hand. Because if I thought about it too much, I would have said no. So you kind of fucking got me in a corner here and maybe do it. So right, I don't, truth be told, I don't know.
Here's my advice if you want it. If you don't want it, no worries. And the same goes out to anyone out there that's thinking about either starting YouTube or starting a podcast or anything like that. Just start. Just switch your camera on, get the mic on, start recording. It's going to be shit to begin with, you know, unless you're particularly lucky and gifted. It's going to be a bit guff to begin with till you figure things out and you get comfortable chatting and talking and all this sort of malarkey. But the beauty is, to begin with, you're probably not going to have many people watching and listening. So you just, you know, you just learn your craft in the first few, whatever it is, episodes, whatever you're producing. And do you know what I mean? Like, I still quite like to go back and watch people's early content, and you can see, like, I even do it with people like Casey Neistat. You know what I mean? You go on his channel, or Peter McKinnon, go back and look at his first ever sort of vids, and then you look how the whole style develops over time. And it's awesome. Yeah, I love doing all that sort of stuff. But yeah, just crack on, just get on with it, get it done.
Yeah, okay. We'll let people, tell you what, we'll let the people decide. Yeah. We'll put it, they can tell them, like, if you want to see more of this silly face talk bollocks about bikes, then just let us know.
Mike, you've met the internet before, haven't you? People are going to say all sorts.
Yeah. Oh, fuck it.
Sorry to interrupt, folks, but just a quick shout out for this week's sponsors, who are, as always, Ultimate Add-ons. Ultimate Add-ons have been back in the podcast for the last few years, and I've been using their products since probably around about 2017, 2018. They specialize in phone holders, so both the mounts that attach to your bike and the protective cases that your phone goes in. Now, these cases are shockproof, they're dustproof, they're the perfect things to put your phone in whilst you're on the bike. And even if you do have a mishap, your phone is nicely protected inside that case. You can still use the phone, you can still use the touchscreen, you can even still use the cameras. They do a wide selection of mounts. I use the ratchet strap, which is actually in their cycle section, but you can pick any one you like for your particular bike or a generic one. It's up to you. Ultimate Add-ons are also doing a number of other accessories, things like action camera mounts. They're also now doing heated grips. They do things like a balaclava, USB, USB-C, power adapters, lots of different things. Head to their website, check out the products, and if you use the code TeapotOne with the number 10, TeapotOne10, then you will get 10% off. A massive thanks to Ultimate Add-ons for all your support. And a massive shout out to all of you over in the clan, over on Patreons, patreon.com/TeapotOne. I literally could not do this full time without your support, folks. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for going that extra mile with your support. You're also the backbone of the Brew Time podcast with all your questions. So keep them coming and we'll go from strength to strength. If you want to do it, just crack on, get going with it.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. We'll think about it. Okay, no, not think about it, do it. Okay, sorry. I had to be a hypocrite. I just contradicted myself live.
So, like, you've got the eye, you've got this creative, artistic eye. You can see that. You can see that pretty much in every single thing you do. You know, even that setup that you've got going on there, you can see that there's a lot of thought gone into that. Now, is that all just self-taught? Yeah. Are you just self-taught, or
yeah?
You know?
I would. A simple answer, yes. But that's not without good advice and speaking to friends and colleagues and people who are like studied it or they do it as a job.
Yeah.
You know, nothing like too in depth, but they've said, like, oh, I'm struggling with this. And someone will message me and say, oh, you need to try this, try it. Cool, it worked. And then one of the guys in work, Nathan's really helped me out. Dean, he's really helped me out a lot as well, because they've had a history in photography and they still do it as a passion rather than a job.
Yeah.
So they kind of, you know, they still have that enjoyment factor and they can just take time and teach me things. But majority of it was, like, just sitting down, researching lenses, settings, lighting, you name it, the whole shebang, and just trying to just put it into practice as I go. So yeah, pretty much self-taught.
Mega. What are you using now?
Yeah.
I'm interested in the technical side of this, because your audio is really good. What are you using for a mic?
Good, because I was shitting myself. I thought it was going to be bad. I'm actually, I can't remember the name of it. They're like a knockoff. Not knockoff. That's really bad. I didn't mean knockoff. Sorry, not the Rode. No. Synco G2 units.
Okay. Are they like wireless, like the versions of the Rode or the DJI wireless mics?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm using them. They were pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, the audio's really good.
You get a twin of these and you get one receiver. And it works out all right. I can't remember how much they were. But yeah.
Synco it's called, yeah?
To be fair, this is Synco. Yeah, Synco.
Okay.
Yeah, Synco. Well, I'll link them to you. I'll send a link to you. Synco
G2. How are you connecting that to the audio for Zoom then? How does that work? Sorry, folks, we're going to get into the technical side of this, but I get asked all the time.
Yes,
People ask me all the time.
Yes.
I love all this.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, okay, so I'll try not to be too nerdy, but if I am, then tough shit. Sorry, that's how it is. Don't Google that. So I have a Canon EOS 90D.
Yeah.
And I'm using a little USB stick called what the hell was it called again? It is called a Camlink. It's a small little converter. So basically, you run a HDMI cable from the DSLR to the Camlink, which then goes to the USB into your laptop.
Yeah.
So that gets your audio and visual.
Okay.
However, then, so the Synco units, then I have the receiver on the top of the DSLR.
Plugged into the
3.9. Yeah, into the microphone jack in the camera.
Gotcha.
And then I have the transmitter on me. And because it's linked up to the camera, it all goes through the USB signal. So you don't have too many things messing about. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It's one of those things where you just sit down and search, like, how the fuck do I use my camera as a webcam? And you just Google it. And I found shit tons of videos. And yeah, just took the plunge and decided to try it.
So you're using a wireless mics. That means they're running on battery. What have you got? About an hour and a half?
Probably. I think it's about an hour. I've never actually sort of tested it for a long time.
Yeah. It's normally roughly about an hour and a half.
I got to back up.
Perfect. Beautiful. Lovely job.
I got to back up anyway, so.
No worries. And with your, just so we know about the technicalities here, you're using the Canon. With the DSLRs, they used to have like a limit of 25 minutes or 29 minutes, and then they would shut down, so you'd have to keep switching them back. I know this because I used to use them when I first started doing all this.
Yeah.
That's all.
Ironically enough, that happened to me when I was practicing a couple of months ago, and the thing was shut off. I was doing one of my drunk-fueled Instagram streams to test stuff, and then I just kept it running. All of a sudden, the camera just went off. I went, what the fuck? Why did it go off? And then check the settings. Everything's fine. You took the camera back on. It's like, oh yeah, it's got hot. The sensor got hot and shut off. It's like, oh fuck, okay. You know,
yeah, they've just got this timer on them. I think it's like every 29 minutes or something. They just shut down. So you have to. So basically, what we used to do when I was doing this and other people were doing similar setups to you is we'd just keep an eye on the time. So every sort of 25 minutes or so, they just restart the camera. So that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. We have a little countdown now on the bottom.
I know.
Oh, he's gonna cut off. He's gonna cut off.
How long have we been going? Well, we started at 1:30, didn't we? So that's 21 minutes already.
Oh, right. Start timing now, people. Start timing now.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably got about another 8 minutes or so, but we'll keep an eye on it. Shall we crack on? Because there's some questions. We've got some questions for us to go through across the social platforms.
Yes, question time.
Lovely job.
Yeah, do it.
Right, first off,
wait. Okay.
Welcome back. I've probably just done a little sponsor read.
Yeah,
Right.
shout.
Yeah, we got to fit them in. Okay, first off, we'll head to the plan
done.
over on Patreon. So it's patreon.com/TeapotOne. First question, Patrick Collum. So, I may have said this question before, but if there was one bike by one manufacturer that you could have a modern re-imaging of, or just bring back from the recent past, what bike by what manufacturer and why?
Patrick, thank you. Hell of a question. It's difficult because they've done the Kawasaki done the RS, so they've redone the Z180, which is by far my favorite bike. The Katana is a lovely bike, remade, already done. It'd probably have to be. I'd be interested to see about a Bandit 12, but you couldn't get away with it because of fuel injection and Euro 5s and stuff. But a nice, probably modern take of a Bandit 12 Mark 1, I'd say, just because it's close to my heart, and I've owned it. I've owned one, and I love them. But it's difficult because still got to keep that nice curvy shape to them, Bandit Mark 1s, but like a bit of nice suspension, modern upside down suspension, decent swinging arms or brakes, all that. I think that pretty work. I'm going to stick with that. Yeah, I'm going to say a modern Bandit 12 Mark 1 is probably that one.
You're a bit of a Kawasaki fiend, aren't you? Kawasaki seem to, and Ducatis, they seem to feature quite heavily in your online content. Now, is that because they just take good pictures? They set the colors and everything sit well in still images, or do you have a love for that, for those manufacturers?
Well, you can have both the professional and honest answer. The professional answer being is that they're close by. They're full, we work with them every day. The honest answer is the first time I got into sales with M&P was through Kawasaki, and how I got into photography was through Kawasaki. So through doing the whole social media stuff and the marketing stuff, because I used to do like social flyers and things like that, they were always really supportive. And then that got me doing sales trips with them. So I'd do more photos when I was away with them, testing bikes and stuff. And they were always really supportive of what I was doing. So yeah, I love the brand. I love the bikes. I work with them every day. And then with Ducati now, since we had Ducati in M&P, Ducati in Cardiff, it was the first time I've actually sort of got to be around that brand, truth be told. I wouldn't go to a dealership and look, or I'd see customers' bikes coming in and go, oh, fucking hell, Panigale, the typical, because they are exotic machines.
Yeah.
But now I'm around them a lot more. I kind of just get involved. They're amazing amazing bikes, and it's just, because I'm around them, I get the opportunity to do so. And yeah, they just fit well. Certain colors and certain scenarios just work well. Like the RS, 900 RS example, you can take a photo of that anyway, and it looks fucking brilliant. And then
I beg to differ. I'm pretty sure I could screw that up. I can't take a good picture to save myself, mate. I'm terrible.
Well, I'll let you be the judge of that, because I ain't going to comment on that. That'd be unfair. But no, it's just because I'm around them a lot more, and I just see things in my head and just run with it. Is the honest answer.
Do you still do sales at M&P then? No, so you're purely the social content person now.
Yeah, it's like I'm kind of like a jack of all trades, but a master of none in a way, because I've been in the company for so long. I like to learn, and I like to get involved with stuff, because I just have a passion for it. You don't have a say in it. If you like it, you're all in. But no, I don't work in sales currently. I am primarily the media guy. So social media, bit of photography, and some of the more simplistic design stuff I put out for socials for M&P. But there's a few other things I do internally as well. So I'm going to stick with that for now.
Now, obviously, that's quite a major aspect of any business these days, isn't it? Just any business.
These days,
yeah, I mean, they need to have some form of online presence. So that's something that I would say most businesses are going to have somebody doing, I would have thought, unless you're the type of business a little bit like me, where you turn the lights on, turn the lights off, you're the one hoovering the floor, and you're doing everything kind of thing. But Like
nobody sees the crumbs.
Oh mate, you don't want to look at the floor in this place. Jeez. But how would somebody get into that line of work these days? How do I'm always intrigued as to how people end up doing what they're doing. And for people like us of our generations, you know, it's something that you've just sort of developed and come into, whereas now it's established, so you can actually consciously go straight into that.
I was very fortunate because it was on the rise when I was getting interested in it. You know, like I said earlier on about the Facebook thing kicking off when I was still early in the game, should I say, and then learning how it worked and what you can do with it and just being on it every day. That's
because we're old and we remember a time before Facebook. How bad's that?
Yes. Get off the phone, man. but yeah, it's difficult because, like you said, because it's established now, it's almost just for big brands and stuff, it's expected to have that presence.
Yeah.
So for someone to start off, pretty much, I think I think the theory is the same. Just take photos or use Canva and just design something, or like if your friend has a small business, you know, it could be a salon, it could be a barbers, or it could be like a little boutique or bookstore, whatever. Just do some little designs and stuff for them, do some photos and just share them with them, and just get your stuff out there.
Crack on and learn your craft.
Easy, but
a bit like podcasts, Mike. Just crack on and learn your craft. Took a while. I teed him up for that. It took a while.
Yeah. Hypocrisy is rife. But I get with my thing, I was very fortunate because I was in a really good environment to do so. And it was a case of like the opportunities were there, and you just got to take them. So
absolutely.
For me to give like a general kind of advice thing to people, I think would be a little bit unfair because I was very fortunate with what I do for a living or how I get to do what I do. But yeah, just try small businesses, friends' businesses, you know, even if it's an online thing, just start tweaking designs or doing photos, product shoots or things like that. And just chuck stuff at the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah. What you just said there about, you know, you didn't want to comment too much because you feel like you've been very fortunate and things have just happened and stuff. I chat about this. I find myself chatting about this more and more in this podcast about, is there such a thing as luck? Because I used to think, oh God, you know, Christ, I've been lucky. You're lucky when this happens. You're lucky that happens. Or is it more a case of you've got that hunger and you've got the drive, and so if something happens, you see an opportunity rather than an obstacle or I can't do it because of this. It's okay, all right. It starts the cogs turning. So, okay, that path might be temporarily blocked now. All right, then, but how do I get around that, over it, under it, whatever it is? You know, and I just kind of think the more people I speak to on here who have amazing stories and backstories and have achieved incredible things, everyone just seems to be of that mentality where they don't give up. They just keep working at it and figuring it out. And I don't know if it's luck or if it's just that they make the best out of any and every opportunity that arises at some point in their life, and eventually one of them is going to pay off.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think a lot of it is down to the individual and how they perceive themselves as well. Because I think it's quite easy for the individual to go, that just happened because of luck, or you know, I just had to be at that place at that time, and that shot looked good, and I just tweaked it this way. The self-critique kind of thing. Yeah. When realistically, you're right. The other side of the coin of that is the fact that you took the chance, or you took the opportunity, or you saw that thing and did it, and you kind of made it happen. If that makes sense. Not manifested it because you're not thinking too much about it. It just kind of you kind of let yourself go loose and just try it, and it works out. Yeah. But probably a healthy bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Nobody likes a Billy Bollocks, do they? Nobody likes somebody that's just giving it, I'm the big I am. Like, that's a very unattractive quality. Hate that. But I think we need. It's not all down to luck. It's definitely not all down to luck. You know, like I think I'm definitely beginning to think you make your own fortune in life, or maybe you make your own luck. I don't know. I had Lyndon Poskett. You must know Lyndon Poskett.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had Lyndon Poskett on here, and he said something to me which, in years of old, I would have just thought, you fucking hippie. But he turned around and he said, the universe is listening. Because I was saying how, sometimes the channel just doesn't seem to be doing so well and views aren't. Oh, hang on, his camera stopped, folks. We said it would happen. Stand by. And we're also sponsored by the Influencer Store. Now, I've got some blurb to read out for them. The Influencer Store helps you build your brand, big or small, providing you with a solution and apparel. We help you to increase your fan base while supporting you with starting your own influencer clothing line with nothing more than just an idea and a design, and there are no hidden costs. For more info, come check us out at theinfluencerstore.co.uk or drop us an email at online@influencerstore.co.uk for more information. Now, all my current merch over at TeapotOne.com, that is all handled by Roger and Charlotte and their family over at the Influencer Store. So thank you for all your support. And lastly, a big shout out to all of you who are either watching a podcast or listening just now on your platform of choice. If you can share with your mates, tell people about the podcast and help spread the word, that really does help. And if you're listening on things like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, if you can follow and leave a review or rating, 5-star is preferable, of course, then that would be absolutely fandabidosi. All right, folks, let's get back to the podcast. That was 31 minutes, I think.
Guess what? I lasted longer than I thought I would.
Hey, good lad. Right, that was about 31 minutes. So if we look at about 7:30, it'll be the next time we'll need to start and stop.
Yeah, I'm no good. I'm no good at numbers, so I'll leave that to you.
Right, Lyndon Poskett. Yeah, Lyndon Poskett came on, and I was having a little bit. I was feeling a bit down actually when he came on because it just felt like with all the hard work that you put into the channel and socials and everything like that, you kind of just thought to yourself. I was thinking, I'm just not getting the results that I want, and you kind of feel like you should with the amount of work that you're putting in. And he said to me, he says, don't be negative about it. Just don't think like that. You've got to have a positive you've got to have a positive attitude towards things because the universe is listening. And those words have stayed with me. And he was like, if you think it, it's going to be like that. So if you're thinking negative, it's just going to be negative. You got to think positive and just keep chipping away and keep going for it. And if you emanate positivity, he just says that you seem to attract it. And he's bloody right. I don't know how it works, but it seems to be that way.
I can attest to that. Yeah. I mean, it's only really the past couple of years that I kind of that very statement slipped into my head. And I was like, oh, what happened if this happened? What happened if this? And you find yourself just thinking about it all the time. Yeah. And then you forget about it for like a week, 2 weeks, however long. And then it happens. And you're like, nah, that's bollocks. Nah, I thought about that like a year and a half ago. There's no fucking way it's happened now. And then you find yourself, it does. And you think, it can't happen twice. 2 months, 6 months, 12 months down the line, bang. Whatever you were thinking of happened or wanted to happen happens. You're like, oh man, that's twice. That's really lucky. And then you just find yourself going, okay, if it happens twice, I'll just believe it and just let it go and see what happens. But yeah, I pay attention to that a lot more now because it seems to be more frequent. It happens.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if just subconsciously, you work towards whatever that objective is that you've thought about or you have in your head. Maybe you're just subconsciously putting more effort and energy into towards driving things to make that happen. That. I don't know. Maybe that's what I mean. Yeah. Do I think there's magic in the air? No, but something's happening because it just seems to work that way, doesn't it? That this positive attitude towards things, it seems to produce the results.
And most often than not, you find yourself doing it subconsciously as well. You don't realize you're doing it, and then you're like, "Oh shit, more stuff's happening. What am I thinking about this?" I think it starts just naturally progressing. But yeah, I do believe it. I do believe in things like that. I think that rings true with me. But again, how do you define it? Some people say, "Oh, you got to believe in yourself, and it'll happen." Yeah. But us, like the individual, translate it as like, oh, I got to do this, got to do that, got to do that. And you think all the small details while everyone else around you, like, forgive me for saying, like, being on here with you now is like, oh, people want to hear you or people want to see your stuff. And like, you just find yourself in a situation where you kind of made it happen without actually realizing you have. I think that's the weird thing. But when you take a step back and go, oh shit, it worked.
Can't always
I
work
digress.
because I've been positively thinking about Danny and Kylie Minogue ending up in my house, and they're not here yet. So never mind. One
Ding
day,
dong.
one day.
I'll be
Imagine
back.
that. Imagine if the doorbell went right now. Forget the
Yeah, fuck
podcast.
you, Mike. I'm off. Like the girls are here. Like, see you later. I'd be like, okay. I'm like, yeah, fine.
You'd be like,
Crack on,
universe.
Bruce.
Oh, good on you. Good on
Yeah,
you.
you
Fair
son
play.
of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Right, cheers for that, Patrick. Next one, Charlie Callard.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
We've only got
Look, we
two on.
digressed there, didn't we? Sorry.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. This is what this is all about.
Yeah,
We've only
true.
got two on Patreon,
Okay,
but
cool.
there's quite a few over on Insta and Facebook for us to go through. So
Cool.
Charlie Callard, next one. Evening, gents. Hope you both fit in well. All good, thank you, Charlie.
Come, Charlie.
So a couple of questions. Within the biking industry, be it kit, gadgets, gizmos, or even a specific bike, what's made you sit up and go, hey, that's brilliant, and instantly wanted to buy? That's a good question. That's a good question.
I don't know about instantly wanted to buy because, God, I sound like a dick here because I got to ride them without buying them. Sorry.
Same position. Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, the easy answer, and I'm not biased, brand, supercharged engine.
Yeah.
Supercharged engine, simple as that.
He's green through and through, isn't he?
No, I'm not. I just love. They tick all the boxes. They're nice bikes, engineering. It's just they tick a lot of boxes. But no, if you haven't ridden a supercharged engine,
Never ridden one.
oh fuck yeah, do it. Come down Swansea. Come down Swansea, and you can borrow ours.
Okay, you're on. I'll do it.
But yeah, okay. Just so I'm not completely green biased, then variable valve timing is something that interests me, and I know the new 1390 has it, and I'm really keen to try it, and I haven't tried it yet. But supercharged engine and variable valve timing, those are the two things I probably tick the box with.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would say it was the old 1290, the Super Duke R. When I rode that, I had that for 2 weeks, and I still think about that bike. I still think about it.
That is probably number 2 on the list of the bikes I would buy with my own money right now.
Oh wow,
hands down.
Well, the worrying thing is,
it's a fantastic bike.
Both Chopsy and Kate, username Kate, both of them said the new 1390 just takes it to a different level. I'm like, fuck me, how can it be any more engaging and fun than that was? So that worries me.
That's a big fucking claim.
I know.
That is a big ass claim. But like I said, I've watched like as much footage as I can from the launch of it. Lamb chops, 44. All the meaty stuff. And you just think, even they were raving about it, saying how mental it is. And like, how the fuck can it be more mental?
Yeah.
It's only 50cc more, but it's so much more than that. It's so much more than just the capacity. But yeah,
as technology's all developed and engineering's developed, the step up in CCs seem to mean less and less because, as you said, even though it's a relatively small jump in CC, like the new 1300 GS, do you know what I mean? Like that from the 1250 to the 1300, although not everybody seems to think this, so I cannot understand it, but the 1300 is just a different machine. It's just a different bike to me. To me, it feels like a phenomenal bike.
I mean, I'm going to be the armchair guy here because, believe it or not, internet, you're going to love this. I have never ridden a GS model in my life.
What?
Believe it or not.
Do you know how I know this, Mike?
Yeah.
Because you haven't got one in your garage.
I ain't dismissing it. I've not ridden. I cannot pass judgment. I've not ridden one. It's like I always say. It's like you can't have an opinion on something if you haven't ridden it. It's like, but however, without digressing too much, you put the two next to each other and see the chassis designs alone. The choice of materials, the choice of like how everything is designed and set up as a core basis of the bike. You can see they're two different animals.
Totally.
But I don't know. Just people sometimes people just I don't know. They're not like us. They don't deep dive and kind of nitpick and just what's that? Just chassis slimmer here and lighter stuff there. It's like it's just.
Yeah, you can see, you pick up the details. You can see it in, even just in your pictures. I don't mean to be sucking at the teat all the time here, but your pictures really do.
Suck away.
But they stand out because you can see you've put thought and attention into the details of everything, into your framing, into how you edit the pictures. You can see it. But again, I don't know if everybody will see it. It might just be some people look at a picture and go, I like that picture, but I don't know why. And I'm like that sometimes with, I don't know, maybe something I've done in an edit. I don't know what I've done, but it's like, oh, that looks good now. I don't know what I did there, but it looks good now. I don't know, I cut it in a certain place or did a J cut or an L cut, or you just do something different in an edit, and it's like, that works. Don't know why, but it works.
Do you still get those moments? Like,
oh yeah,
because I've started to appreciate them a little bit more now. When you kind of sit back and go, "Fuck me, that's all right." That is.
Yeah.
And
Every vid
just
questions
about it. Yeah. It's like you just sit down and just go, I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Yeah. I will walk away. I'll turn the laptop off and I'll go away because I'm happy. And then,
but then
the
you come back.
The shitstorm returns. But
that's exactly it. You come back to it, don't you, the next day? And I'll like rewatch what I've done, and you're just like, nah, need to change that. What were you thinking?
It's like, can I have the old set of eyes back? It's like, can I have last night's Bruce back and last night's Mike back rather than this morning one? This morning one's an arsehole and I don't want to talk to him because he's fucking everything up. But it's true.
My editing process, I seem to have two different types of editing process. There's the editing when I know what the end result, or I can picture what the end result's going to be. So that's things like, you know, a kit review, or if it's a video that I've sat and I've planned and I've maybe scripted something, some sort of plan for it. Prime example, I did a review, 50,000 mile review of the 1250 GS. That vid, I sat and I planned out, and I plotted what shots and down to what camera angles I was going to be getting, if it was going to be a drone, if it was a cockpit cam, if it was a helmet cam. So I sat and I had all of that written down. And when I went out to film, it's so much easier because you can just it's literally, right, what's the next sequence, the next act, right? Okay, get that shot, get that, tick, 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 tick. And then when you finish with it, you can sit down, and when it comes to the edit, great, it's awesome, it's all there. But the vast majority of my content is reactive filming. It's me out on a tour somewhere or on a trip with people. So you never know what the end result's going to be because you don't know what people are going to say or do. You don't know what's going to happen throughout the day. So that sort of edit, I literally just, the one you were talking about the other day when you just saw the timeline, I literally just sit down with all the meat, and then you just have to go through it and go, okay, well, that's something interesting. That's something interesting. That's all shite in the middle. Get rid of that. And you'll strip 5 hours down to 3 hours, and then down to 2, and then down to 1, and then try and get it to half, and then try and cut it to 20 or 15 if you can. But you just figure the story out along the way. That's kind of how I work. But it takes so bloody long.
Which one do you find yourself critiquing the most? The one you put the most planning into, or the one you just fly off the wings with?
Trip ones.
Or is it equal?
Nah, the trip ones, I think. The trip ones, because the trip ones, I've got so much more invested with them personally. Like I remember when I'm editing them, I remember how I felt. I remember the funny bits. I remember the smells. I remember sometimes you remember stuff that isn't even on camera, and that can maybe bias you towards certain sequences of footage because you're like, oh, I remember how good that was. But it doesn't always convey on camera to someone that wasn't there. So I find I find I'm personally involved with that type of edit, whereas the plan stuff, in my head, it's just a video. So it's just like, bang, bang, like you're baking a cake. It's just ingredients, bang, 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 get it done.
Yeah, but I've never made a cake.
No, I've eaten a few.
Oh fuck, I've eaten loads. I'd eat them fucking now if I could. I didn't bring any with me.
Right. From Charlie's question, then, what about a bit of kit, like a gadget or a gizmo? Are there any of them that you see that just gone need? Or even in the camera world?
Oh, plenty in the camera world. But then I wouldn't know how to fucking use them. Truth be told, nothing comes to mind without being boring or not even be able to provide an answer. But I don't know. I kind of find myself having what I need, but I will be truthful. The last thing I said I needed and I've now got was a new GoPro. because I wanted to try and do a lot more POV stuff and like bike review stuff, you know, or like when I'm taking something out from work or whatever. Just because it's a different way to get content, because that's the world we live in, is content now.
Yeah.
And you can't fucking strap a DSLR to your chest. Trust me, I've tried and it nearly failed.
Back in the day, they did. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. You see him with the tripod strapped to the shoulders and shit.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. An image comes into my head for that, actually. I saw like an old 50s thing, but I can't. I'll have to.
It's like it was like a TT or something, wasn't it? And they gaffer taped the camera to the top of the helmet.
That was it. That's
incredible.
Gnarly, that is, isn't it?
And that's not made up. That's genuine. That's genuinely what they were doing back then.
Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine, you know, thinking out. We thought we got it bad now with editing stuff. Imagine hanging on the back of someone with a fucking camera.
Oh yeah. I'm terrible for I'm terrible for like shiny new gadgets. Like plumbing Instagram. Jeez, they must have made so much money out of me. Like I've got one right here.
Yeah. What do you got?
Seen that?
Oh, nice.
Bought it.
Sweet.
Used it once. It was really good. Used it once so far. They do a slider. So
good, it's gone back under there.
It genuinely is good, but it's just because I'm just doing trip stuff at the moment. So mind you, I need to do a review.
You've got the opportunity.
I'm trialing the new Insta360 Ace Pros at the moment, so I need to do like a proper like unboxing and standard review type vid of that. So
Bruce goes ASMR.
Yeah, all that sort of bollocks. Yes. But that company Trexo, they even do a slider, and I looked and I was like, I've always wanted a slider. When am I going to use a slider? But I've always wanted one. And you're like just hovering over the buy button. Like no. It's £1,000.
Now you've said that, there's a couple of things that come into my mind.
You could do with a slider, mate.
You don't. Thank you, sir. There's some things you don't realize you need until you see them, like you said, right? A slider, yeah, for sure. I saw someone doing product shoots on like a YouTube tutorial, and they were using a slider. I was like, oh, fuck, that's lovely. But I also forgot about FPV drones or first-person view drones or chassis. The stupid fast ones. Yeah. And that interests me because you see like the guys flying them around like industrial estates or like through windows. And there was I think it's Hendrick Motorsports, a NASCAR team, because I'm a closet redneck. They go on YouTube, the facility tour, a drone footage. It's the best fucking drone footage you'll ever see in your life. Mm-hmm. Like to promote this motorsport team, it's absolutely unbelievable, and it's pretty much one or two takes, I think, in some areas. Wow! There's just drone flying through this. The facility's huge. You know, they've got race bays, they've got engineering bays, manufacturing bays, marketing bays. You name it. The thing is huge, and it's to see this thing going through this building. It's like, fuck me, I'd love one of them. Yeah, and you realize, that thing could do like 100 mile an hour. Yeah. You know, right into next door's telephone cables. Like, shit. Sorry, love, I was practicing. You know, but it terrifies me, but interests me at the same time.
Yeah, I can't comprehend how the pilots of those FPV drones, how they react as quick as they do. I mean, it must take a lot of practice. Yeah, it's totally immersive, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I tried VR a couple of times over the past year or so, and I had to sit down, you know, just to fucking get vertigo and say, oh, fuck that, I can't do that. Imagine flying one of those bastards, like through buildings and stuff. Yeah. Nah. Earn your money, mate. Yeah, you earn your money. You crack on. But I'd still like to give it a go. But
the thing is, like, with my drone, with the traditional drone, if anything goes wrong, you just take you take your thumbs off the sticks, and the drone just comes to a halt and hovers. Beautiful, lovely. Even in wind, it just hovers. With those things, they just plummet to earth, go in the direction that they were going in. It's 100 mile an hour.
Yeah,
might have to get one of them.
This is the last thing. Yeah, fuck it. We go harvest. Fuck it. We'll do harvest. Yeah, we go harvest. Shit. If you go to the internet now, it's going to be true.
Oh, that's the problem, isn't it? Once you put it out there, that's it. You've got to stay by it. Question 2 from Charlie. Which is the correct way to have spaghetti bolognese? Pasta with meat placed neatly on top with a sprinkle of cheese, or all mixed in, leaving no pasta No pasta or sauce with a large helping of cheese. Well, in my mind, it has to be the pasta with the meat on the top and some cheese on it. Order. I like order.
I I was going to be flippant and say some stupid remark of like, I don't care, just get it in my face. But that would be a lie.
But you do care. You do care.
Yeah, I care.
Of course
I care. The placement is the placement is paramount. I make a little ring with the spaghetti around the outside, and I chuck everything else in the middle. So you got to do the whole twisty dippy thing.
Order. We like order.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Cheers for those, Charlie.
Eat it, apparently. Yeah. Cheers, Charlie.
Are you? Do you like a bit of meat?
That's a bit of a personal question, Bruce.
Well, you know, I think we're friends now. We can cover these sort of topics.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I do. I fucking love meat.
Good effort. Good effort. We can carry on talking. Yeah.
Cool.
Have you ever tried the vegan diet? Have you ever given that a bash?
I haven't tried it. A few friends and colleagues have, or are vegan, I should say. But I've never committed to myself. No. Would I dismiss it? No. But it's not a conscious choice I would make.
My wife and I, we tried 28 days, no meat, purely because it was this juice diet, you know, like this juice thing to try and lose weight. And I think we made it to about day 14, day 15. It's like, I need a steak.
Well, that's still a fucking good showing, though, isn't it? That's still a good showing. Fair play.
I love meat. I love it. My wife cooked like a Bolognese a couple of months ago, and the whole meal, she kept looking at me going, "What do you think? Do you like it? Do you like it?" And I was just like, I kept thinking, what have you put in this? Have you put something in it? Are you trying to get a reaction here from her? I finished it and she went,
"I'm fine, love."
Yeah. Cyanide. I finished it and I was like, all right, go on then. So what's up with it? What's different? And she just went, "It's not real meat." And I was like, "You fed me fake meat." Yeah. And she said, "Yeah, it was on special in the supermarket." So I thought I'd just try it. And I was just like, that's grounds for divorce. That is grounds for divorce. Why have you brought that into this house?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, how dare you, heathen, get on the steak. But I... Did she float? Yes, chuck her in again. But no. Yeah, like, I tell you what is nice, though.
Steak.
Corn mince.
That's what's nice. Steak.
Well, steak's fucking lovely, yes.
Bruce, steak covered in bacon now. With some cheese over the top.
Bastard. So I was thinking to myself, shall I eat before I come on here? I was like, no, I'll eat later. And now you're just making me more hungry. Bastard.
But you know what happens? You have a few beers doing this, and then when it finishes, you're like, I can't be arsed cooking.
Kebab.
Exactly. Kebab. Takeaway. Get it in. Job done.
Yeah, that's why I only bought 4, so I got room for it later.
Like it.
I thought ahead, man. I thought ahead.
Excellent. See, you're destined for podcast life. It's coming your way.
Yeah, you say that now, mate. You say that now.
No, do it. Okay. Do it. Just don't overtake this podcast, please. Or if you do, can I come on and talk shit on it, please?
Yes, you can. Yeah, in fact, that's what needs to happen. You need to come on here and not be the professional guy, doing the host. You need to be the guy that gets hammered and just talk shit.
Mate, I'd love to.
Come on, give yourself some credit.
I'd love to. People rarely ask
Brucey after hours
podcast. Yeah. I mean, I say exactly what I say now. There is no filter. Don't worry. This is what you get.
Okay.
Right. That was the clan ones. We'll head across to Instagram now. So it's at TeapotOne Insta. Obviously, I'll leave all Mike's socials links down below. Make sure you check them out, like and follow. Jim Bob's Adventures. If you could invent any item or feature to fit onto a motorcycle, what would you create and why that item? Ooh.
Oh, I saw this one when he posted it. I've been thinking about it since. I don't know, because I'm gonna flip that on his head, and I'm probably gonna say I take more things off.
Back to basics.
But yeah, to some extent. But yeah, I think everything that needs to be done has been done, and I can't think of anything that springs to mind to say I'd have. You even got fucking radar on bikes now.
Yeah.
I would love to give you some juicy answer and some insight into my craziness, but I literally don't have anything. I would probably take more things off, and I don't mean to be that blasé about it or flamboyant, but My current bike at the minute doesn't have ABS, doesn't have traction control, it doesn't have power modes, it doesn't have anything. It's a 2010 Z1000, and it's just core, lovely, beautiful engineering. But then you ride something like a new Fireblade or a new R1, which is dripping in tech, and it's got 200 brake horsepower you need to control. So,
which any one of us can just jump on and ride down the street. That's why it's got all the tech, isn't it? Because without it, like, you're not going to make it to the end of the road.
It's like, that's why I keep having chats with like manufacturers and stuff saying, can you just put a twat mode on it? Everything's off for the minute, and then just say, right, do you ride super bikes? No, right. You got twat mode on, so it's got everything on, and then go for it. I'm happy with that, because I would never use 200 brake horsepower on the road and survive. But I don't really have an answer.
Mine's nothing to do with technology per se. I would just like either an RPG or some sort of Gatling gun, machine gun. That would be awesome.
Oh, well, fuck. Now you said that.
Yeah. I'd have that, please.
I got lasers.
Yeah, freaking laser.
Silence. The long distance silence one. That's the stuff. Nice. That's something you can fuck stuff up from miles away without even knowing about it. It's like, yep, job done. Thanks.
That's sneaky. That's sneaky.
Yeah. Tactical, they call it. Not sneaky, it's tactical.
That speaks volumes about your character, Mike. Speaks volumes.
Oh, God. Well, make of it as you will.
Just start calling him. Chris Kyle sat there in his garage. Look.
God. And that's how rumors start, people.
Yeah, I've said this about people have asked, if you could change a traffic law, what would you do? And I had this idea. I thought, if we could just have like one day, either a month or one day a quarter of the year or something, where it was just bikes allowed out on the road. You just had the roads to your outside cities. It was just bikes.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. But then I have another beer.
Anyway,
yeah. And then I have another beer. And then I just start thinking, what if we just had like a monthly purge?
You're not alone.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. You're not alone. There's countless miles I put into Brecon and around the Gower and stuff like that, and just sat and gone, fuck, imagine if this was empty. Like, there was a term I was gonna pen, but I can't say it because it's mildly offensive. Excuse me. But I'll have to text you it later. But it's a TT. So we have a lovely set of roads down the Gower, and everything just links up down to Llandudno every way and up to the valleys. And I call it there we go, the Traveller TT. We call it that.
Okay.
And you just imagine it like those roads empty, like no police, no traffic, no animals. It just I'd probably want that more than anything, to be honest with you, because that would be fantastic.
Wales has been spoilt for me now, and that this fascination that the police and the government over there seem to have with speed, like these 20-mile-an-hour limits that have been brought in all over the place. Scotland's starting to do it as well, sadly, but it just spoilt it for me. It's taking the enjoyment out of. And I know they're there for a reason, but it just wound me up every time I came into a little town or a village. They were down to like 20 mile an hour, and I was just like, why? Why is this 20 mile an hour? I get it if it's by a school. I get that. I understand that. But one of these little villages in the middle of arsehole nowhere, and 5 houses, and they bring it down to a 20, and you're just like, why? Why? If you cannot see me, hear me, and get out the way at 30 mile an hour, or I can't stop at 30 mile an hour, then we got an issue. You know what I mean? It's like sort of natural selection, I'd have thought, but you can't say that, can you?
Oh, well, you can, because you just did. Because you just did. But no, I agree. There's reasons for and against. I don't mean to sit on the fence about it, but you can see pros and cons for both. But of course, it's easier for us on a bike to say, like, why the fuck's this 20? In a car, completely different story, because that's a shit show. You drive anywhere 20 mile an hour, it's just like, fucking, you want to kill everybody because everyone's driving like an idiot. But bikes is different, because going 20 mile an hour in second gear on anything is a pain in the dick. But I I suppose we can't have it all our own way, and I'm trying not to be too diplomatic about it. It does suck balls, especially when you see the conditions of the road.
Exactly. But I can't ride at 100 mph out in the Nationals either, legally. So I'm not getting it my own way.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? It's like the 60s are now 50s or even 40s. The 50s are 40s or 30s. You're just like, well, what? Everywhere you go, there seems to be.
I saw a petition the other day saying about there was something about motorway speed limits going up to like.
Oh, he's gone again.
Hola.
Hola.
Can you hear me? Hola.
We forgot about the time, didn't we?
I'm not going to lie. I took a tactical piss at the same time.
No worries. It was me thinking, I wonder if the camera did overheat. No, he's just having a slash.
I heard the audio. He's going, he's reset the camera. He's not. He's pissing in the bucket, but
pissing in a bucket. Oh, genius! Lovely job. Right, we're back in the room, folks.
Where were we?
You just seen something about? I think you were talking about increasing the speed on motorways.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we were whinging about the 20 mile an hour, which is absolute bollocks, by the way.
Yeah.
But there we go. I said it. Like increasing motorway speed to like 80 and something else. And I don't really know how strong I feel about it because I don't tend to have the urge to go mental on the roads these days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like going on your point about villages and things like that, yes, it can be a bit silly, especially when you got like national speed limit roads into like a 50, bang, straight into a 20, and you got some guy sat there with a little radar gun going,
yeah,
it's like, come on, how much thought's gone into that? You've gone from a national speed limit into a 20, and you've just got someone sat there every weekend in the same spot ready to catch you.
But then, I also understand why. I understand why they're doing it when they're there, because they must have people that aren't slowing down, so they'll do it. I get that, but it's just why this blanket 20 mile an hour. That's what really gets my goat up. That just, I just don't agree with it. But anyway, never mind.
Let's get political. Come on, let's get political. Let's go.
Yeah. What about religion? Shall we start on religion? Still too early for religion? Yeah. And cancelled. What about something that's not actually been made yet, fitting onto a bike? Is there anything that you look and you think, wish that I had that on the bike? And let's be sensible. Let's talk about some actual bit of useful kit that you could use on a bike.
I'm not sure if kit, you can categorize it as kit, but I think a lot of modern motorcycle problems, or not motorcycle problems, but legislation and laws on Euro standards and stuff, renewable fuels would probably be up there. I'd rather have bikes running on renewable fuels because that would eliminate a lot of problems with regards to Euro emissions and things like that. So that would probably be big on my list, because then you wouldn't need to have modern bikes being suffocated as much as they are. Run flat tires possibly, but then you wouldn't have the scope of adjustment for tire pressures, so that kind of suits itself in the foot. Semi-active suspension was probably the biggest thing that's kind of just recently been done, which I would have liked seen. But again, nothing really springs out because there's not really much you can sort of add to.
That hasn't been done though.
Enjoyable. That hasn't been done, or wouldn't make it more enjoyable, because I just can't think of it. Truth be told, I just can't think of it unless you make full systems like legal. You got to have full exhaust systems that are legal. Imagine that.
You just buy a Harley. I mean, I don't understand how they get away with it. The big cruisers, they've got the loudest fucking exhaust going, and they're stock. The stock ones are loud as hell. How do they get away with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
You do know, but you're not saying.
Yeah, maybe. What? Next question. Who said that?
I've got to admit, I can't. I didn't ask that question with something in mind. I can't think of anything either, actually, because pretty much all the bases are covered these days on modern bikes. Yeah. Sometimes it's quite nice though, just to get on an old fashioned bike, an engine, two wheels, gears, and that's it.
Yeah.
No
that's
gadgets.
Where I find myself. Yeah. That's where I find myself wanting more now. It's like Ryan F9. They did their feature on the CBX,
Yeah.
the Honda, and we're lucky enough to have one in work. And I said to Mark, the owner, I said, I'd fucking love to ride that. You know, just imagine, because I missed that generation. I always kind of said to myself, I missed the two-stroke generation. I missed like the kind of mad Japanese sports bike revolution. I was just, just joining it when the first Fireblaze and R1s and stuff came out. But I honestly think I find myself wanting to ride the old bikes more than I want to ride a new bike. Because I think without being too cocky about it, I kind of have a better understanding how a modern bike would be now, but I have no fucking idea how the old bikes were.
Yeah.
You know, the 70s, 80s, early 90s bikes were. So I probably find myself wanting to go backwards a step or two rather than forward. But maybe that's just me.
Have you ever ridden like the classic bikes from the 30s, 40s, 50s, that sort of time?
Well, with the clutches, and the hand clutches, and the gears on the other side, and no, I haven't. I'd love to, but the problem I have is that I have such little experience and understanding of those bikes, and they cost so fucking much.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, you can ride this, Vincent. Yes, no problem. But if you crash it, it's like £50,000.
Well, one of my mates was stupid enough to let me ride him and his dad. Basically,
stupid or brave?
Stupid. They did up. They've got 3. In fact, they might have even more than that, but they've got some proper classic bikes. And he said to me, why don't you come and ride these bikes and like review them like you would the modern stuff? He said, I think it would be funny to watch. So he did. He came out with me, and like he came out on a bike, and I went out on 3 of these classics, and just basically tootled round the block on them. But it was a really nice experience because they're not a million miles away from how it feels to ride a modern bike, but they are completely different, if you know what I mean. It's such a weird juxtaposition of it. Yeah. I mean, you still feel like you're riding a bike because obviously you are, but it's just the brakes. You need to activate the brakes 3 years before you need them.
There.
Yeah. But they ooze character. You know, they feel like they're actually. It's like the traditional Harleys. They just feel like they're living and breathing. You know, it's like an actual entity rather than just a machine you're sat on.
That's a very good point, because I think that's what's kind of missing from modern bikes. Without going off on too much of a tangent, is that you kind of, just to touch on what I said earlier, you have that expectation of what a modern bike is or how it feels. And you don't have that individual character, you know, because everything's either an inline-4, V4, or V-twin at the minute. But like, you know, the old singles and things like that, and the wallowy suspension, and the smell, and all the sensations you don't really get anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I'd love. There's loads of early bikes, the early 70s bikes. I'd probably like to try more than anything earlier than that, because anything earlier than that, I think my brain was cooked.
with the real early stuff. So go on.
No, I was going to say the coordination with like everything being on the other side, and or like early BSAs and stuff. It's no chance. I'd be fucked.
And they've got like a set procedure that you have to go through to start them, and you get that procedure wrong. My mate basically said, if it doesn't start after you've done all this, you literally just have to put the thing away and come back to it like an hour, 2 hours later. It's just because if it doesn't want to play, you ain't starting it, so you just got to leave it for a while and then come back to it when it feels like it.
Imagine pulling that excuse now. Sorry, mate, I can't come in. The bike won't start. It's like, I'm going to be at least another 3 hours.
Yeah, the bike doesn't feel like it. Sorry, not today.
Yeah. Okay, no problem.
Right, cool. That was Jim Bob's, wasn't it? Yeah, that was right. Next one, David Guest 19. Good evening, gents. I'm currently enjoying the twisties of Gran Canaria and have the distinct feeling that the first few rides when I return to the UK will be somewhat less exciting in comparison. Yeah, they will. My question is, excluding Gran Canaria, what is your favourite European biking destination and why? Oh.
Well, my answer is going to be easy because I've already been riding 2 places other than Britain. One's Spain and one's Portugal.
Both crackers.
Spanish road. Yeah. Fucking hell. I mean, Spain, you don't really appreciate how large Spain is until you're in the middle of fucking nowhere on some of the best roads you've ever ridden in your life. and there's no one else around apart from a wild dog or cat or maybe the odd goat. But yeah, Spain by far. Just I've always had really good experiences there, and it's again some of the scenery and stuff like that. It's just mind blowing. You kind of going through like hairpin turns over the mountains. The next thing you know, you're just doing silly speeds through gullies and valleys and stuff. And then, yeah, it's Spain for sure for me. But again, I'm limited on my options. But yeah, that's number one. Big tick.
Whereabouts in Spain have you been?
I'm shit with geography. The names I can't pronounce either. Down south.
Like near Malaga? Down the south, down the coast, in the middle.
Yeah. Now I'm Johnny on the spot now because I can't remember exactly the names we've been. Insert a map here and I just point. Like,
so all down towards the bottom then, in the south of the country? Or have you been like in the middle, in the north? Or
no, mostly south coast.
In the south,
mostly south coast.
Got you.
And again,
so you still to experience the Picos and the Pyrenees and all around there?
Yeah, none of that yet. Yeah, I'm still yet to experience them.
Wow.
I know. I've seen your stuff as well, and I've seen other people's videos. I'm kind of going, oh.
I'm there a week Sunday. I'm taking a group.
Are you?
Yeah, we've got the first chicken strips tour a week Sunday. So there's 15 of us heading to Picos for a week.
Nice.
Can't wait, mate. Cannot wait. Nice. Yeah, all good.
Oh, I bet. I look forward to being full of jealousy with that.
It's all right. The vid will probably get edited next year at my rate. Although I've got my son. My son's helping with the editing at the moment, so that might speed things up a little bit.
Oh, nice. Cool. You can just whip him instead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What about Portugal then? Whereabouts in Portugal you been?
Portimao. The track Portimao.
The circuit.
That was hand on heart, not microphone. That was my first track day. Was Portimao.
What, at Portimao?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my first dealer trip with Kawasaki UK. Was a day or an afternoon in Portimao, and I mean, I can't really put it into words. Like you watch MotoGP, you watch Superbikes, you see the undulations and the curvature of the track and things like that, and you think, fucking hell, that's steep. But that waterfall, I mean, most recent thing with Jack Miller and the GPs, flying off the waterfall, fuck me. You're tipping into that corner because it's a blind entry. You're tipping it, reset. It's a double apex right into the waterfall. And you just see the track just go straight down. And it's
wow.
Pin it and then up the left-hander. But yeah, Portimao, fantastic experience. Fantastic. But for road riding, Spain, all day long.
Yeah, I would go with you on that one. Spain's top of my list for a couple of reasons. There's more beautiful places to go for sure. Like the Swiss Alps and places like that are just insanely gorgeous. They're just beautiful. But Spain's got beautiful places. It's got amazing roads. It's generally got good weather. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Like hotels and food and beer is cheap by the rest of European type standards. And the people are great. The biking community is great. But pretty much number one for me is that the old Bill just don't care. As long as you don't take the piss in the villages and the towns, if you save it for the like the mountain roads where they go, I've seen it with my own eyes, where they go to pull wheelies and have fun. They're not bothered. You know what I mean? Like I remember the first time I did the N260 in Spain. Again, I've chatted about this. I think I've even got it on camera on the round the world trip. But I remember riding on the N260 and a couple of coppers on bikes, like scrambler bikes. I think they either came up behind me or I came up behind them. But I was sat there just toodling along with them, and they sort of looked over at me and they were just like, go, enjoy. And they just popped it up on the back wheel and hopped off into the distance. So it's like, nice. I think I'm gonna like Spain. And that's just what they're like over there. They don't care as long as you do it appropriately. That's my experience. Yeah. We're probably all going to get done for speeding next week, but never mind.
Yeah. Where are you going again next week?
Yeah. What were you just saying? Yeah. No, I don't think the Spanish would do that. I think there's some in the British old bill that would, for sure. Never mind.
You know more about that than I would.
Yeah. I've already been at the receiving end of that. Secondly, if you had to do a big little adventure for, let's say, 1 week on a sub 400cc bike, where would you go and on what bike? Cheers, Dave. Well, have you seen, we've done the big little adventure. Have you seen that? I did it with Mr. Fish and Richie Vida. We took a couple of 125.
I haven't, I'll be honest to say.
We did it during lockdown, about the second year of lockdown, or maybe the first year of lockdown.
Yeah.
When it was starting to open up again, we jumped on a couple of 125cc's. So I had a Sinus 125, and Fish and Rich both had Honda Cubs, 125 Cubs. And we just...
Nice.
Fish and I rode up from here, from South England to the Peak District, met up with Richie Vida, did a whole load of riding up there, did some green laning on the bikes as well. Nice. Then we left Rich, and Fish and I rode to Wales, and we went round Wales, met up with a load of people at like Owl's Nest and stuff, and then did Black Mountain and all the big hitter roads and stuff. And then we rode home. Nice. So it was like a 3 or 4 day, 1,000-mile on 125s. And I'm not kidding you.
Awesome.
Probably the most fun I think I've had on two wheels. It was brilliant. Loved it.
I could believe that. Yeah.
So everyone wants to know, when is Big Little Adventure 2 happening? Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. So what would you take? Sub 400cc, and where would you go?
Sub 400cc, I don't know. I'd have to go 125. I'd have to go like a Varadero or something. Something that's a little bit taller, something that's a little bit more capable with regards like carrying stuff. Where would I go? I'd probably say Scotland, because I've not been there. Like, I know, shock horror. How I get up there with a 125, I don't fucking know, because it's
easy. No bother.
Yeah.
No
cool.
bother.
But yeah, I'd probably say Scotland somewhere. Because I've never been, and again, it's like Wales. It's just a beautiful place to go. Yeah, I'm confident with that. Like a Varadero, and I go up north.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's good call. That good call. Yeah, people seem to think you can't do distance on the small CCs, but you can. You totally can. They'll still sit at 60, 70 mile an hour. Some will do a bit more, obviously, if you're not quite as gravitationally blessed as I am. You know what I mean?
Restrained. Well, ironically enough, think of that. A couple of buddies of mine, Tom and Lauren, they're doing CG125s in Africa and stuff, and it's like,
there you go.
It's just I just don't I don't know. I just narrow-minded maybe, and I overthink what I take, and I never sort of factor in the restrictions or the less restrictions that 125s may perceivably have. But small CC bikes are fun. So yeah,
brilliant fun.
Varadero.
I think the bigger and more powerful modern bikes get, the more fun little 125s become, because they're just so different to, your fucking great big 1390cc Super Dukes and things like that. Obviously you go from that
90 mile an hour in first.
Yeah. All of a sudden you go from that to jumping on a little 125. That Sinus 125, I think it had 11 brake horsepower. 11.
And you used all of it, didn't you?
Oh, God,
all of it.
But it's literally red line. I took one around the UK. I did a round the UK ride in like 3.5 days, I think it took. 2.25 thousand miles. And it was literally red lined for probably 90% of that. And it did it. It did it, no problem. I was the weakest link.
Effortlessly as well.
Well, kind of,
You didn't have any problems with that, did you?
Well, not in the 3 days I had it. I mean, I've often wondered. I wonder what the bike was like after, when it went back to Sinus. But who knows?
The piston and valves are now mated in unison for the rest of their life.
Some poor bugger bought that bike. Sorry, it's either going to be amazing because the pistons and everything are just being like totally bedded in properly, or it's going to be a nightmare. One or the other. Right, we've got a few questions over. Okay. Go on. No. Go on. No, I was going
to say, try and track it down. Try and do like a reunion thing.
Not sure I want to. Somebody's probably got like a voodoo doll of me, some fat bald geezer with a beard and shoving pins into it. You utter bastard. What you did to my bike.
We may never know.
Yeah, we might now. You never know. Someone might comment. We'll head across to Facebook. So, Jane English. Great to see my local bike shop is being featured. My bike is from there, and it's my
Hey,
first stop for accessories and parts. Bike nights and the summer open
thank you,
day
Jane.
have been well attended and enjoyable in the past. My question: if you could, how would you further improve the West Wales bike scene? Banger of a question. Like that one, Jane?
Well, first of all, no money exchanged hands with that, but thank you very much for your support. I do. We and I appreciate it. The Welsh was it Welsh biking scene?
Yeah, well, the West
Oh,
Wales bike scene.
okay. Personally, I don't really see a divide with regards to the west, east, south kind of section. So I'm just going to speak in general for the Wales scene, if you don't mind.
Of course, feel
Um,
free.
pers- Personally, I don't think there's anything else that's already being done that could improve it.
Okay.
We are very fortunate to have an incredible community, varied community down here in South Wales that ticks a lot of boxes already. We have, like, as you know, we have some great places to go, eat,
Mm.
stop, drink, fuel, food, coffee, whatever. Um, Probably, I think we are statistically one of the biggest populations of riders in the UK.
Wow.
Um, the only way I probably say we can improve it would be the roads without deflecting too much, because some of them are pretty shitty. Um, but regards events, places to go, to buy, sell stuff, eat, drink, visit. I'm very proud of what Wales has as a biking
Mm.
community, and I'm really looking forward to getting more involved with it in the next years. Um, but truth be told, I don't really have an answer to how to improve it, other than what people are already doing. We're getting involved with more like charities, like mental health motorbike and stuff like that. They're getting more
Yeah.
involved with us down here. Um, there's more venues being opened up with regards to accommodating riders and camping sites and things like that. Um, yeah, I don't really have an answer, because people are doing already a great job in making it happen.
Mhm.
Is my honest answer.
Well, that's cool to hear. So, all right, plug away. What is M&P doing then in terms of the bike scene?
Holy shit! Now you're going to put me on the spot because I didn't have my work brain on me. Edit here.
We
Um,
sell bikes.
well, first and foremost, the past 2 years we've been doing our bike nights where we alternate between our Cardiff site and our Swansea site
Hmm.
with regards to just having live music, food, like an after hours hangout kind of thing. We don't do too much of the pushing sales. We don't do like, oh, come down and buy something. It's just a case of like, we got lucky enough to have the facilities and the space and the car parking areas and stuff.
Yeah.
So we just like to get like music in, food in, and just have a place for people to hang out. So we've got several bike nights. Well, our bike night dates are actually live on our Facebook page. So if you just go to facebook.com/MMP Direct, you can see our bike nights. And that is a big drive for us because, like I said, going on the back of what we discussed earlier, we have a really thriving motorcycle scene in South
Mm.
Wales. And it's nice to be able to kind of provide people and riders with an opportunity to, they finish work. Like some people do in the week will just like go out for an hour and a half, spin after work, whatever, blow the cobwebs off and like whatever. And sometimes they may not have a place to go or some places may be closed or whatever. So it's nice for us to be able to offer someone and riders of that nature to kind of just hang out for a bit, just talk shit, meet up with mates, whatever, bike to eat,
Yeah.
coffee, and off they go. And just to get people talking and get people enjoying motorcycling.
Yeah.
So we've got the bike nights coming up. A few other manufacturer dates here and there as well, which can all be found on our Facebook page.
Like
There we
it.
go. Next question.
You mentioned mental health motorbikes. That is becoming. I think mental health is becoming more and more prevalent in society now. Whether there's more of it these days because of social media and all that sort of stuff, or is it just it's spoken about more, so people open up about it more? It hasn't. I would say there still is a
It's a
stigma
bit,
probably there, but it's not what it was, is it?
yeah,
Like for people to come out and
no,
say,
no,
I'm
not
I'm
by, yeah,
struggling here. And
yeah,
I
yeah.
find I see it, particularly through my tours and Patreon and things like that. It's it's not all blokes at all by any stretch of the imagination, but a lot of my tours tend to be very cock heavy.
Yeah.
It tends to be blokes that come away, and they definitely,
Mm.
you definitely see blokes. Well, I see it now, just blokes opening up, and chatting about
Mm.
things, just what's
Yeah.
going on. I see it time
Yeah.
and time and time again. The biking scene,
Mm.
maybe it's the same in all sort of communal type hobbies where everyone gets together. I don't know, but obviously we
Mm.
see it in biking because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But you definitely do see it, don't
Yeah.
you? That when people get together, especially if they don't know each other, but they have that common
Yeah.
bond, bikes, that sort of
Common
stuff.
bond.
Yeah, people just open
Yeah.
up and they start chatting, and it can only be healthy, surely, to
Yeah.
chat about stuff.
Yeah. I mean, just touch on the back of that. I mean, you and I both know, like, riding a motorcycle is probably one of the best things you can experience for mental clarity and enjoying and just switching off.
100%.
And but yeah, I mean, it's something I believe in a lot personally. If I'm being honest and on the record, I think it's very important for people to get shit off their chest, no matter how insignificant they may think it is. We've all been down the rabbit hole at times, but it's the comfortable scenarios and the environments you find yourself in with bikes, because Lord knows you can stop at a cafe somewhere, be completely on your own, and you're maybe having a bad day where you're kind of getting yourself out of a gutter somewhere, like mentally, and then another guy can turn up or another girl can turn up on a bike and be like, oh, all right, enjoying it. Instant conversation. You just start talking to random people, and that's how, you either get things off your chest, or you just get things in common, or you get out of your bubble in your head. And it's a wonderful thing that our hobby and our passions can then lead to improving people's well-being, their state of mind, and their health in general. So I'm a big supporter of that. So to have them more involved with us, be more involved with them, is a privilege and an honor for this year. And it's something that I hope to kind of get more awareness to, because we're actually having mental health motorbike down on our bike nights as well, both Swansea and Cardiff. Nice. So if people are visiting, they can just, they have a safe place to go, or at least get shit off the chest if they want to. But just around that point up, it's very important to, know that you have somewhere to go or someone to speak to get help.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the power of just of chatting to people can never be underestimated, but it's not everything, is it? So it's like,
no,
there is still that. I think there is still maybe a stigma attached to it, or certainly people. What am I trying to say? It's nice to see people opening up and people talking, but sometimes I've had conversations with people where I've been like, I'm in no way qualified to deal with, whatever issue or the blatant issue that you got going on here. You need to go and speak to somebody, like someone who's properly qualified here.
For sure.
That's going to be the next step, isn't it? Is those who need it. So. It's just, how do you do that though? I don't know how you open that gate.
I don't have the answer either. I don't have the answer either, but at least having someone to speak to or open up to at least kind of go, oh, you need to go that way, mate.
Yeah.
You need to go that way. Don't worry about that. You can't go that way anymore. Go that way and see what happens. There's only so many things you can do to help somebody, but a small little bit of guidance can make a massive difference in the long run. But I wish I had the answer to that question, but not yet, sadly.
That was all quite grown up, wasn't it? Not sure how we got onto that topic, but
look at us.
It's an important one to have covered.
It is.
Next one, Roger White. Great to see a local lad on Brew Time. When's Mike Morgan coming over to Motor Wales? He's got to get the plug in. Oh, camera's gone.
That wasn't intentional. That was not intentional.
Motor Wales cut. Gone. I was going to say, any excuse Roger gets to get a plug in for Motor Wales. Like it, Rog. Like it.
I was just waiting for the proper focus comment, because I saw that earlier. When he's going to get a proper focus comment?
That was the next bit. Yeah, go on then. What have you got then compared to Roger's max power one?
Oh, he has the envy of any boyhood dream. Yeah, he has.
He's
He
about
has a
96
lovely.
years of age.
I don't give a fuck. I still have a Focus RS at 96 years of age.
I think he's younger than me.
That's a battle between you two. But yeah, when am I going to go to Wales? I don't know. Soon, I hope, because I need some t-shirts done and a mug. So yeah,
There you
soon.
go. The influencer store is the place.
Now. Yeah. And the thing is now, though, I got to turn up on a bike, because if I turn up on my diesel ST, it's going to rip the piss out of me. But hey ho. It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah. I tell you what, Mike, we're doing a particularly shite job of the keeping track of the time on the cameras.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I think that's 3 times now, and we've not managed any time. It's not hard, is it? Half hour. We just need to add half an hour. Failed every single time.
I told you I'm shit with numbers. I'm shit with numbers. It's fine.
Next one, who have we got here? Nathan Skirm. Favorite bike you photographed and or ridden? Are they different, and why?
I saw this question too, and I chose to not have an answer because I wanted to be genuine and honest.
Oh.
I'll give it to buddy. Favorite motorbike I've photographed. The photographs I've recently done, which I'm most proud of, which I didn't really have to do much double taking to, was the Street Glide 120th anniversary Harley we had in the showroom. Super proud of how they turned out, and they had good engagement with Harley and LinkedIn too.
Yeah, you use LinkedIn a lot, don't you?
Not as much as I probably should, but I dabble in it now and then. It's like the stuff I think I'm really, the stuff I really like myself personally, I'll put it on there. Everything else just goes on Instagram or Facebook. Right, bike I've ridden, Z900 RS, because I can take that thing anywhere and photograph's good. Yeah. Truth be told, yeah, easy answer to that one. In honesty,
I've got to say, I really like things like the Ducatis and the Kawasaki's you do, just because the color, you do the, like, it's almost like an isolation of colors. So you pick out the red accent or the red and white in the Ducatis, or the green and the darks with the Kawasaki's, and I love that. Looks really nice.
That's never intentional.
Is it not?
Never intentional. No. I will be honest. Like a lot of my stuff, you'll see black containers in the background.
Yeah.
And that was the truthful, honest answer to that is because I was once told you never make a bike look good against a black background, and I kind of went, "Oh, really?" So I'll take you up on that. But yeah, like a bright green against a black, perfect. A bright red against a black, or even sometimes a grey against a black. This works. You just make it work. But yeah, to answer the question, the 120th anniversary Street Glide, because that red is gorgeous. And the Z900 RS, any variant, because you can take it anywhere and it looks cool.
Bosh, done. Chris Ainley, which has been your favourite? Oh, he's asked exactly the same thing. Which has been your favourite bike to photograph? Oh, right, we got it. Okay, last one then. Ian Pickup, what got you into biking?
Oh, okay. How long have we got?
We probably should have asked this at the start, shouldn't I?
Yeah, the glory of editing. What got me into motorcycling? Okay, I'll try and keep it as brief as I possibly can.
No time limits here. Mossy was 7 hours.
Oh, 7 hours. All right, okay. Just fucking warming up, baby.
Dig yourselves in.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing was my father had a C90 step through in my granddad's garage. Which was the first motorcycle I actually got to touch and feel and sit on and stuff. And then after that I once spent 6 hours. Well, it felt like 6 hours. Probably my mom will probably tell you different. But we were over a family friend's house for a party, barbecue and stuff. And he had a Gixxer and I think it was a DT something in his garage. But I spent the entire time sat on these bikes. Like, I didn't speak to the family. I didn't speak to friends. I was young. I must have been about 10, 11, maybe. And I literally spent the entire time sat on this bike, making brum brum noises, clutching brakes, and all this kind of stuff. And And then as I got older, in college, a friend of mine, Robert Hayward, brought his dad's 916 Ducati into college, and I went, "What the fuck is that? Wow!"
Everyone always says the 916.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
it just is, isn't it? It just is. I don't. You can argue until the cows come home. It just is. And then just being around the local town in Casino with just being around bikes when Grandstand was on TV. You know, remember fucking Grandstand was on BBC Two, and you had the World Superbikes and British Superbikes on one day.
Yeah.
Watching that with my father, with Colin Edwards, Frankie Keeley, Fogarty era, and then on to like more modern Ben Speed's 2009 era. Just lots of small little influences. I don't have like a rider family. Like none of us raced, or none of us did off road, or none of us did whatever. It was just local influences and just things what I saw and people who had bikes that I hang out with and stuff. It's more of a natural kind of thing. And then 17 years ago, started working in the industry, and just everything just went batshit crazy.
So where do you see it going then? Have you got plans other than obviously this podcast you're going to start?
Motherfucker. Where do I see what going? Like motorcycle in general? Or
just like where's life going to take you? What's your plans?
I don't know. Truth be told, I have no idea. I often find myself in a bubble where I kind of think too far ahead and either scare myself or I just turn myself off it. I have little things I want to try and do. Like I want to do more videography stuff. I want to do more podcasty stuff, or at least more stuff in front of camera, just to get my confidence up a bit and try and show the world what I see and what I think, which could be dangerous, but who knows until I do it. But I don't really have any kind of plan. I just turn up and go. That's probably why I'm so apprehensive of doing stuff, because I don't really think about it and I don't put things into action. But
you strike me as a perfectionist type of personality, where you don't want to put something out there until it's as good as you can possibly make it.
Yeah, that's accurate.
But how do you get to that point without getting on and just getting to the coal face and getting covered in muck? You just
press
the
upload button.
That is the biggest hurdle for people, especially for YouTube. Everyone's just like, I haven't got a channel yet because I want to get better, blah blah blah. It's just get on with it, get it done, because as I said, no one's going to watch the early stuff, so just learn your craft in the early days. Just get the videos out there.
So do I just make all my early stuff like 2 minutes long then, and then just go like a year later and just put like 30-minute bangers out?
I would definitely say less is more, which is rich coming from me, because my vids can be 30 minutes long, 25 minutes long. Like I think for YouTube, for YouTube and big growth on YouTube, you need 5 to 10 minute long vids ultimately.
Really?
To see the big growth. Less is more, like in terms of length.
Hey,
because there you go. Because you're gonna get more people. More people will click on a shorter vid than they will on a longer vid, and more people will watch more of a shorter vid than they will of a longer vid. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
it's the attention span thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's viewer retention. So if YouTube, let's just go argument's sake, let's say 1,000 people click on a vid, and that vid is 5 minutes long, or no, let's just make it easy. The vid's 10 minutes long. Well, out of those 1,000 people that clicked on the vid, you're probably going to lose 30% of them in the first 10 to 20 seconds, because that's just the way, that's what happens. You just see a big drop initially. If you can hold, ideally, these days, they want you to be holding 80%, 70-80% viewer retention for the majority of your vid. I never ever get that. Mine's between 40 and 60% most of the time for viewer retention. So, out of that 1,000 people that have just clicked your vid, you're going to have maybe 600, more than likely 500 or 400 people will be watching it for hopefully at least half, if not 3/4 of the vid. Hopefully that's a good vid. That's doing not bad. A lot of them you'll get 20%, 30% sort of the vid they'll watch, and it'll be 30% of that 1,000 people will watch for, the third of the vid.
That that's got to be consciously in your head, though, isn't it? When you're producing stuff or when you're editing stuff, that's got to be the primary focus. Again, it's like, how do I keep this person engaged for,
it becomes everything. It eats your very soul away because it's all you're thinking about. When you start YouTube, when you get into YouTube, you become an analytics whore because you will just be looking at the analytics all the time.
Input.
Totally. And you either have to go, right, I'm giving everything to the analytics and we're just going to be reactive, and I'm going to tailor my filming and editing and brand to what the analytics show, or you go, fuck the analytics, I'm just going to make the stuff I want to make. And I was going along the analytic route for a little while during lockdown because this had just become a full-time job, and it was just like, well, how am I going to grow? I need to grow. And then I suddenly realized I don't actually want to do the stuff that makes the vids grow in the bike sector. Bike reviews, bike launches. They just don't interest me. So I like the trips, I like the social side, and I just make that. Doesn't do massively well in terms of views and analytics.
Yeah, but self-satisfaction is probably a lot higher, right?
Yeah. And my sort of community that has grown up around the channel and the Teapot brand, I get way more from that in terms of like job satisfaction, if you like, like the comments, you get great comments from people. I do meetups, people come and meet and we go for ride outs, people come on tour, and it's like they've become mates now, which sounds really corny, but I get the same people coming away on tours and meetups all the time, and it's great to see folk, and I just,
that's awesome.
I'm very fortunate
because of labor.
Yeah, you work hard to get in a position, but I'm in a position now where I really like my life, I really like my job. I'm by no means a YouTube millionaire at all. If things go south next month, then I'm fucked financially and I'll need to get a proper job. But you just keep slogging away at things, and hopefully you can get to a position where you can be comfortable and plan a wee bit ahead. And happy days. It's got to start somewhere, Mike. Get your YouTube channel up and running.
Yes.
And the podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Do it.
I don't have a choice now. This is going to go live, and people are like, what the fuck are you doing, Mike? Get on with it. Like, okay, right, shit, I will.
Exactly.
I promise.
This will be coming out in about 2 or 3 weeks' time, I think, this one. So, folks, what we'll do is I'll put a link down below for Mike's channel and his podcast. It better be ready.
You son of a bitch.
On a serious note, folks, I'll put all Mike's socials down below, so make sure you give them a like and a follow. And
just expect a lot of drunken shit from a Welshman. Just all you need to expect. Random drunken shit from a Welshman.
His Instagram or Facebook stories are brilliant. I recorded. Did I tell you? I screen recorded your little warm up this evening before you came on. When you put what you put out in the story. Really? Yeah. So that might go right at the start. Awesome. I might have played that right at the very start.
Why not? Fuck it. Yeah, why not? That's the thing. See, it's like once it's there, you can't do jack shit. It's like, whatever. Yeah, I'll deal with it.
You put it out there into the ether, mate. It's gone, isn't it? There's no control of it.
Yeah. I was actually quite proud of that, though. You might have to do a bit of a bleep or something over the top. I'm not sure what you like with the censorship with regards me.
There is none. Yeah. There's none. Don't worry about it.
Oh, fucking great.
This is a blank card. Well, obviously, if you want it bleeped, I can bleep it for you. But this is an open canvas for folks.
Cool. Good. That's okay then.
Dude, we're all done through questions, mate. That is it. Congratulations. You survived.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for them. I appreciate them. Sorry if I couldn't give too much in-depth details too, but I just ran with it.
No, I've enjoyed it, mate. It's been good. I'm looking forward to your pod now. So who you gonna like? What's your podcast gonna be about then? What you're gonna chat about? Who you're gonna chat to?
I don't know. Probably a bit of everything, and without. I'd like to get people who I find inspiring, people who I respect, and people who may not be accessible to everyone. But that's probably my ideas of grandeur. me had
sounds familiar.
Mike,
It sounds familiar. Are you going to be competition?
Really? I don't do competition. I don't do competition. But truth be told, Bruce, I don't know. I don't know. Until I get someone to turn it. It'd probably be Tom. It'd probably be Tom Swales to come up. He'd come up with like an 8-pack of Guinness, and we'd just put the camera on and just talk shit.
Brilliant.
Because well, he was the first guy that probably reached out and just came up randomly, and we just had a really good time. Yeah. And it was kind of his idea. So yeah, he's probably the first one because his turbo bike's amazing. He's back on the road. He's doing more. He's getting back in the saddle with his turbo bike. I forget the event he's doing. Sorry, Tom. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I may do some work stuff. I may do some people in work, people in the industry, maybe.
Just a generic. Yeah, just get it started and see where it goes. That's what I'm doing with this. Is just I try to just have people on that have got a story.
Shit in a field. It may just be me talking shit to myself in a field on a bike or something. I have no idea. I don't know.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. There is a market for everything. That's something I'm discovering. Is that if you put you out, you will attract the people that like you and what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's like you will attract your own
people like me
community, your own clan. Yeah.
There's more people like me in the world, really? Is that a good thing or bad thing? I don't
know. Dude, before we go, is there anything you want to plug or any shout outs you want to give? Feel free.
Plugs and thanks. Everyone who has actually liked any of my stuff online, anyone who continues to support me. Sincere thank you to Mark and the Collins family for believing in me and putting me where I am. And I've got far too many people to thank online, because if I said one and didn't mention the other, wouldn't sit right with me. So everybody who gives a shit, likes my stuff and supports me, thank you very much. It is appreciated. Perfect. And apart from that, you for putting me on here and getting me on the camera and talking shit.
No, pleasure. Thank you for coming on, mate. Enjoyed it. Hey, I'm going to take you up on coming to M&P, not for riding any of the bikes or anything. It's just I've never been to M&P. Heard a load of things about it, so I'll give you a shout and at some point come over.
Just do me a favor though. If you do come down, let me know. We can put you up. There's a nice few hotels around and stuff like that, because I think it would be a nice eye opener. Possibly, I'll show you around. We go backstage and VIP and all that kind of stuff and show you everything. But you'd be more than welcome to.
You're on. Right, let's make that happen. You're on. Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right, folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. Make sure you check out all Mike's socials down below there. If you're in the South Wales, Swansea area or Cardiff, make sure you head to M&P and check out all the goodies there. Yeah, folks, keep doing your thing. Look after those that you love. Get on out there whenever you can. But most importantly, live your life. Woo-ha! Dude, mega. All right, stop that.